it's Jessii Vee. This top is literally insane, but I love it. I probably wouldn't wear these puffy sleeves out in public, but we're just filming today, so it's all right. So, as you can see, we have 2 Twisted Nostalgia videos in a row. Best 2 days ever. I just love this series. There's so many nostalgic things we can talk about, and if you love it too, definitely give this video a thumbs up. Today we're gonna be talking about the dark and creepy things that have to do with Kermit the Frog, and not only that, but the Muppet Show as well, because as you know, Kermit the Frog was in the Muppet Show. Before I get started though, I just want to remind you guys that I did restock the rainbow narwhals. These are the best things I've ever owned. They're literally balls of fluff, okay? They're rainbow fluff with narwhal horns, and they're just so cute. So I restocked these for you guys because you highly requested it, so the link is down below in the description if you want one. Alright, so let's talk about Kermit the Frog. Kermit the Frog? Kermit the Frog. So let's start off with some history and very odd facts. Kermit the Frog had his first television appearance on May 9th, 1955. The original Kermit was made out of an old coat belonging to Jim Henson's mother, and his eyes, as you may have guessed, were ping pong balls. So Kermit the Frog originally was made out of the most random things. It was like they just found stuff and was like, okay, we're gonna make a frog out of this somehow.
You're ruining my childhood, Jess.
The next fact, which I kept finding all over the internet, which is kind of pointless to know, is that Kermit the Frog is left-handed and he has 5 fingers, and he is the only Muppet to have 5 fingers. And I never actually realized how creepy his hands actually look. They're just weird, like long, skinny fingers. Like, I've never noticed them. The next fact that is really strange is that he has so many family members. In real life, after a female frog becomes mature, she can lay over 50,000 eggs at once, depending on the species. So because Kermit is a frog, you can imagine how big his family actually is. He says he has 4,000 brothers and sisters. He claims that their family gatherings for Christmas can take many weeks and months, just waiting for everyone to hang their coats up. I cannot imagine having 4,000 brothers and sisters. So now that we've talked about some strange facts, let's get into a creepypasta about a lost Muppet Show episode. As you guys probably know, Kermit was best known for his time on the Muppet Show, which first aired on September 5th, 1976. And you guys are familiar with characters like Miss Piggy, Fozzie Bear, Beaker, all those fun characters. Beaker is literally my spirit animal. There have been a total of 120 episodes that have aired, and a creepypasta came out that there was one episode that was especially disturbing that no one can find. There are so many people that can swear they saw this episode when they were a kid, but there's no record of it anywhere, so it has been named a lost episode. People remember that in this episode there was absolutely no sound throughout the entire video. There was no music, there was no talking, just this very faint sound of static that you could barely hear in the background. It showed all the characters walking around, talking to each other, just like any normal episode would go. Obviously you couldn't hear what they were saying to each other, but it was like they were going through the motions, but you couldn't hear anything. Except they didn't look like they normally did. Their costumes were dirty and ripped. You could see the string from their clothing dragging behind them, like their seams were coming loose, like the puppets were actually unraveling on camera. Their faces were droopy, and it almost made them look like they were literally melting in front of you. But they continued to walk around smiling, acting like absolutely nothing was wrong. This went on for 30 minutes, and then the episode ended. And what's weird is that when the credits scene appeared, music suddenly turned on full volume, so it made anyone watching jump out of their seats. People said it was just such a bizarre episode, and after watching it, the whole day they felt out of it, almost as if they were living in sort of a dream world with that buzzing still in their ears. So I thought that was super creepy and really wanted to tell you guys about that. I find lost episodes so fascinating, and I want to do more videos on them. Okay, so this next creepy story is called Muppets with People Eyes. It's basically about this guy who had frequent sleep paralysis. Now, this is not supposed to be a creepypasta. This is a guy who actually posted about this experience happening to him. Sleep paralysis is a feeling of being conscious but unable to move. It occurs when a person passes between stages of wakefulness and sleep. During these transitions, you may be unable to move or speak for up to a few seconds seconds or a few minutes, and people often see nightmarish figures. So having sleep paralysis is definitely a horrible experience. You never want to feel like you're actually stuck in a nightmare in real life, unable to move or do anything. And this guy that we're talking about had frequent sleep paralysis, except instead of seeing creepy like creatures and stuff like that, he saw Muppet characters standing at the foot of his bed with human eyes. They would just be at the foot of his bed staring at him, which may sound silly to you, but I feel like if you put yourself in that situation, that would be so scary, because you expect them to always look happy and positive and cute, but when they have actual human eyes, oh no. So just imagine these in the middle of the night in the darkness at the foot of your bed. Now, how do you feel about it? All right, let's talk about a controversial Kermit the Frog book. This book is called For Every Child, A Better World. It was a book produced by the Muppets in cooperation with United Nations, so the intent behind this book was actually really good, and it was meant to spread awareness, depicting those in need who are in less fortunate conditions. It was basically trying to show kids the real struggles that people go through in this world, and most kids had never like heard of this before or known of this before. These books were in libraries and schools all around the world for kids to read, but many parents thought this book was just too disturbing for a very young audience, because as you can imagine, anybody watching the Muppet Show or Kermit the Frog, they're probably gonna be toddlers. So parents were saying the pictures in the books were too negative and depressing, and it was actually upsetting children. So in 2015, they actually tried to ban the book from libraries and schools, saying they wanted to shield children from these types of situations. So I kind of want to know your opinion on this. Do you think that kids should be shown stuff like this about the real world? I actually think they covered some really important topics. I don't know, it's a tough thing to think about, but it was an extremely controversial book. And the last fact is kind of a funny one. People have found Kermit the Frog's long-lost twin. Kermit the Frog's distant live-action cousin has just been discovered in the jungles of Costa Rica. This new species is called Diane's bare-hearted glass frog. It is most remarkable for its translucent underbelly and its bulging white eyes, which look just like Kermit's. The frog was discovered living between 400 meters and 800 meters up the mountains, which is probably why it took so long to be discovered. Kermit the Frog's long-lost twin. I absolutely love that. He's so cute. Anyways, guys, those are all of the creepy facts we're going to be talking about for Kermit the Frog and the Muppets today. If I missed any good ones, definitely comment them down below. Don't forget, if you would like a rainbow narwhal, the link is down below in the description. But I hope you guys have an awesome rest of your day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!